Have you seen Baby Pigeon? Written and illustrated by Hanna Kowalewska. Sophia was not born an artist. Nothing like that. She was an ordinary little girl who lived in a neat little apartment with her grandmother. That day, as always, Sophia was drawing in her room and dreaming about becoming a great artist. She ran her pencil over the paper and thought about what she would draw today. Maybe a flower? Sophia began to draw, but it did not seem good enough. It was too big and floppy. A cat then? But the cat wasn't good either. His paws were bigger than his head. Annoyed, Sophia crossed out the failed efforts and tore out sheet after sheet from her drawing pad. Meanwhile, her grandmother was dusting her room. "Granny, please draw me a bird," Sophia asked, handing her a red pencil and a sheet of paper. "Actually, you see, I can't draw, Sophie," Granny said. "Why don't you draw one yourself?" "I can't either," the girl sighed. "And it's not like I have seen any birds recently anyway." The next morning, as Sophia was returning to her room after breakfast, she saw 2 pigeons on her balcony. She instantly froze with the glass in her hands, not wanting to scare away the birds. Despite all efforts, Sophia felt like she was breathing too loudly. Her heart was thumping so much she thought the birds would hear her through the window. Sophia stood still for a long time, but she was so eager to draw the birds that she decided to slowly walk to the table and grab her drawing pad anyway. As she was pulling the drawing pad off the table, Sophia knocked over the glass of water, pencils, and paints. Everything on the table rattled and shook, giving her away. Because of the noises, the birds scattered into the wind. Sophia was very upset. She sat down to draw, but nothing came of it. Again. Later that evening, Sophia went to talk to Granny in her room, hoping that together they could figure out how to get the birds back. "Granny, will you read to me, please?" the girl asked, even though she could only think about the birds. Suddenly, Sophia heard these amazing words. Birds often flew to the feeder near her house. "Granny, let's make a feeder!" Sophia shouted happily and burst out of the room in search of the right materials. Together, they made a feeder and scattered some grain inside for the birds to eat. The next morning, Sophia woke up to the cooing of pigeons on her balcony. She grabbed her book from beside her bed and began to draw. Sophia was very happy that the birds came back to her, and they kept coming back, making the balcony their home. After a while, they even built a nest, and soon after that, laid some eggs. "Granny, have you ever seen baby pigeons?" Sophia asked as she drew a fluffy yellow chick. She had never seen pigeon babies before and didn't know what they looked like. The warm rays of the sun woke the girl. She heard the birds singing behind the window and felt the approach of spring. Sophia noticed that the pigeons sat in the nest all the time and did not leave it even for a minute. She was drawing when suddenly she saw dirty yellow lumps inside the nest. She was surprised, but drew everything as it was. And this is what she drew. Every morning, Sophia changed their food and refreshed their water. She watched how the parents took care of their babies, watching them grow, and she drew it all. More and more drawings appeared in Sophia's trusted drawing pad. The new drawings were different from the old ones, and the drawn pigeons were starting to look more like pigeons were supposed to look. But one day, the pigeons flew away and did not return, leaving their babies behind. They did not come back the next day either. Sophia began to worry. Granny taught her how to make porridge, and now Sophia could feed the babies all by herself. The baby pigeons were just learning how to fly and could barely reach the chair. Sophia built towers from her blocks to teach them to fly higher and higher. She also moved to the balcony with her easel to draw more and more. Sophia went to visit her family for a couple of days. When she returned, she saw 2 grown pigeons on her balcony. Excited, she called out, "Granny, the parent pigeons have returned!" But Sophia's cry of joy was cut short, as she noticed that the baby pigeons were nowhere to be found. Granny immediately tried to comfort her. "Sophie dear, it's not the parents who have returned. It's just that your babies have grown up." And the pigeons showed her how they learned to fly by reaching a nearby tree. "How beautiful," the girl whispered with a smile. Now her pigeons would fly away for a long time, but they would always return before breakfast. Sophia finished the drawing pad and happily started a new one. She learned to appreciate her drawings because each of them brought her closer to her dream of being a great artist and kept its own story inside. What is a skill you had to practice a lot to get good at? Talk about it with your family and friends. Thank you for reading along with me today. If you liked this story, please share it with your friends and subscribe for more Kelly's Book Club read-along stories. See you next time!